So I've been in countries like, for example, Ireland, Portugal, Spain, Italy, living a while there, living another while in Argentina. But Slovakia was the country that first of all, that I never thought I will be here. And secondly, I can tell that it's a totally different culture from the other countries I met in Europe. So I was working a lot in try to understand you, the people that is here, the culture. Create your home wherever you go. That's the whole point, I think.
Everyone, welcome to the next episode of Hotovo and Air podcast. Today we have very lovely guest Antonela from Argentina. Hello, Antonela.
Ahoy, ako sa máš, Vlado, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Hey, thank you for inviting me.
You are very welcome.
Thank you.
So my first question, Antonela, is a little bit personal, but can you tell us about yourself?
Okay, I have a lot of things to say about myself, but I can make it in a short way. Okay, as you say, I'm Antonela. I'm from Argentina. I'm 33 years old. I don't like to say my age, but it's okay. I started traveling from Argentina to Europe since I'm 26 years old, let's say. It was almost the same time that I started to get involved with this IT industry, let's say, and with the remote job and with the kind of tasks that I carry out today, which is the HR field, let's say, more related to the hiring part. But since then, I've been traveling all around the world. I think that because I had that kind of lifestyle, this opportunity of working with Hotovo came once, and that was an opportunity to try to keep traveling, but in this time doing it in a different way. Like I have the company I work with abroad, so this time I can do these adventures that I've been doing, like traveling, but in a different way, like where the company I work with is. Okay, and experience that of in the other part of the world, let's say crossing the world, working like I will be doing in Argentina, but here in other country, which is also a country, after all the countries that I met, after all the trips that I did in Europe, is a totally different country that I met, and was kind of challenging, but at the same time, it's like a new discovering that brings me new point of views, new feelings, let's say, and makes me experience this adventure that I picked in my life about moving myself in a totally different way. Challenging, but at the same time, I'm discovering part of me, of myself, that I never knew before, let's say, because this contrast that I'm experiencing.
Can you describe few parts, how it changed?
Yeah, actually I can't. For example, I won't speak about my country because, it belongs to Latin America. I think that we all know how Latin American people can be, the kind of energy and etc. So when you travel around the world and you meet different cultures, you can realize, if you are a person who watches reality, no? You can notice the difference between cultures. So I've been in countries like, for example, Ireland, Portugal, Spain, Italy, living a while there, living another while in Argentina. But Slovakia was the country that first of all, that I've never thought I will be here. And secondly, I can tell that it's a totally different culture from the other countries I met in Europe. So the contrast that I've been feeling so far is regarding the communication.
Okay,
maybe
Antonella, that is my following question.
Okay, I'm getting advanced.
What are the biggest cultural differences you have noticed between your home country and Slovakia?
Okay, perfect. First of all, as I told you, communication. The way the people communicate here, different things. If we need to talk about technical stuff, about serious stuff, about funny stuff, or about emotional stuff, let's say, you can notice that people here it's not that they don't dig in this kind of topics, but the way they do is totally different. I believe that if we are both of us discussing in a table about any topic, anyone from the outside will realize that this girl has a lot of energy and what is going on with the other guy, So one of those things is the difference. I can see that I have a lot of energy naturally, organically, because nobody understands how I can hold on the whole day with this energy, even when I'm tired, So I realized that it's part of me.
I can confirm that.
Yeah, everyone. Other thing or other different is that maybe from my culture, not just in Argentina, but I can say all Latin America, we are kind of people who speaks a lot about emotions, let's say. Or I'm not saying that here people do not speak about that, but it's more private conversations in here. It's not that you are going to a bar, maybe with a friend, and the point of conversation is going to be all those things like, hey, how you've been doing? How is it going with this topic? How are you feeling? Are you sad? And you start this conversation about deep stuff, emotional stuff with somebody. So the difference that I see between my country, let's say, and here is that in my country is something that we take naturally, it comes automatically. People want to talk about those things. We like spending time to talk about those things. And here I realize that people is more reserved. They preserve a little bit more that part, which I'm not saying that is wrong, because actually I'm learning a lot from that. How to find balance between the things that you need to keep for yourself, and the things that you can share with others. Despite this aha moment, let's say, comes from the difference that I'm living, even though it's helping me a lot to find another Antonela inside me.
If I understand it correctly, that you can be more open in Argentina with your personal stuff, and it is much more easier to talk about it.
Exactly. It goes more naturally. Here I know that I can do it. There is a lot of people who already know me. They know that I can touch those kind of topics, but it took time for me to create that kind of environment for me and feel a little bit at home, even though that I'm far away. And one of the institutions that I need to be thankful about that is Hotovo, for example. Because thanks to Hotovo, I meet people, and because we are, let's say, living every day together we are not living, but you already know me. I know that we don't live together. We know maybe more about superficial things about ourselves and etc. But I feel more secure now with the people that I know here, that I'm not going to be judged because I'm talking about those things. People already knows me, and actually the feeling that I have is that they feel more comfortable with me to talk about those things, because they can feel the opening, maybe something like that.
That's great. Because my following question is about maybe your emotion. What are your frustration or challenges?
Okay. One of the things, frustrated, I think that I've been frustrated. Now I'm not anymore, because I was able to find different tools to help myself. And I had this approach of looking for these tools because I didn't want to give up easily, just because we have contrast, because the culture. Because at the end of the day, we are all human beings. And somehow we have differences and similitudes, but we are the same. Maybe people here is more mental, maybe I'm more emotional, but I also have the mental personality, and I know that you also have the emotional. The way we express those things are different. So the challenge was start looking for a middle point, to don't be 100% the Argentinian girl, and to don't forget about that Argentina girl 100% because I'm in a place that I need to get used to. Because I will find continuously walls and etc. No. So I was working a lot in try to understand you, the people that is here, the culture, and find tools that will help me to deal with that in the daily stuff without feeling down, let's say, without feeling alone, without feeling like isolated, let's say. For example, one of the tools that I'm using right now, a Slovakian coach that I'm going. Actually, I came from there 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, and she's from Slovakia. And what she does is helping people with the small things, because it's not psychologically point of view, but it's more what do we need to unlock to help you to keep moving. no? And actually, it's a service that Hotovo gives for all of us. So anyone who would like to try, I'm already making the advertisement, let's say. So she's helping me how to learn or how to learn from the culture without being mentally Argentinian 100%. And also she's helping me how to adapt myself. I mean, how to see things or how to approach things in a way that will help me to get more involved instead of feel more rejection, let's say.
Can you explain it more? Because it is very interesting that you are discussing the thing how to adapt to let's say, our way of life.
Yeah.
But maybe some examples, because it is hard to imagine for me.
I will go to, this is a difficult topic for me in general, actually, but I think that it can reflect well and everyone will understand, because it doesn't matter which culture you belong with, you are continuously relating with people. And the biggest contrast that you can find about yourself are the personal relationships that you have with others. So since I'm here in Slovakia, what I'm facing the most is this thing of finding some, let's say, partner that I can count on for a long period, let's say. And not because I'm saying that there's no people. I'm sorry, it's not that there's no people, that no one is enough or etc. It's because, again, here, the culture, the contrast of the culture. Here, people in their culture, they have more this tendency of think about those things in early ages. You know, so I find myself that people from my age maybe is already building a family, or they are already looking for the family, or getting engaged, or planifying all those things. So when I look around to find that, let's say, friend that you have next to you, the options are short. You know, I'm not saying that I'm 100% alone, but it's not easy to find that connection that everyone needs to decide that this is the place. You know, this is the person that I picked to share with me. So yes, sometimes, and I think this is more a mental issue that I have, not a reality. Okay, sometimes I overthink about those things. Like now I'm okay, but what is going to happen in the long period? You know, because we are, at the end of the day, human beings, we need to relate with others. We cannot be forever alone. And actually, about being alone, I already learned a lot how to be alone. Not just here, because I've been always traveling, going. This kind of traveling also do not help sometimes, because the people you meet is the people you live, and you are jumping. So all those boundaries that you are building, they are still via phone, via email, via Instagram. But you know that you won't see that person maybe again. So you are continuously meeting people and leaving people, you know? And now that I was thinking in my life, I want to settle down, really start building a life and etc. And all that opportunity start opening here. But I can see that here, the contrast with these topics is kind of big. So I met the goal that I have in general about changing my lifestyle by living in another country, but now I'm facing the other reality that it has, or that has, yes, living in another country, let's say. And in this case will be, yes, regarding serious boundaries, not just friends. Yeah. Forever alone, I don't want to be.
I understand. I have maybe similar experience. Okay. Because I have lived in many different countries, so for me, I can feel that it is super hard to connect to the society, to make relationships, and many essential things for being happy.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is.
And something to highlight, what I can find the contrast is because I did have experience, let's say experiences here with other person I was trying, and actually it didn't go well, let's say. It was rough for me, but was the first meeting that I have with the contrast, with the culture. And that failure that I lived in here, let's say, helped me a lot to start understanding the way I need to relate, you know? And now I can say that I'm doing well now. I'm meeting more people. The opportunities are coming, but because my mindset has changed a lot. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
It's
actually,
very
yes.
nice too. Okay, what are your favorite things about living in Slovakia? So
Okay. First of all, I'm gonna say, and not because I want to have a good looking in front of the company. Is the people that I meet here in the company. I mean, I feel that I feel less vulnerable. Let's say. I feel a little bit more that if I don't want to be alone, I can write someone to have a drink and etc. Thanks of the people from the company, I was able to meet people outside the company. So now it's not just doing activities with the company. I'm doing activities from the outside, which is a lot. It helps me a lot to meet other people and etc. So I can say that Hotovo helps me a lot to break down some walls, let's say. And other thing that I love about Slovakia, that I know that it exists in other countries, but it was the first time that I experienced it here frequently, which are the soups. I will always defend the soups. I love soups in here. I know that I have different options. I know that every place you go to have the main dish, let's say, you can ask for a soup, that the soup is going to be there waiting for you, in any place. Other thing that I really like about Slovakia is that despite I have this feeling that people do not deliver themselves 100% anyway, people is super polite. On the street, in here, I go, I don't know, to the post office, and the lady doesn't know how to speak English, but he anyway figures out how to help me. And actually, they have a good time with me because we laugh. I know a few words in Slovak, so they feel happy because of that. Other thing that I can highlight is that is green, the forest, the trees. I live in a flat, I know. I live in a city, I know. But in front of my house, I have a big park that I can take 10 minutes, go there, look around, enjoy of the environment, the wind, and etc. Other thing that maybe not everyone is agree, but I like the snow. I like it. I do not ski, but I like it. I like that feeling that I have when it is falling. It doesn't matter if I'm in the forest, in the mountain, or from my flats looking like this in the window. I don't know. It brings me like a kind of peace feeling, let's say. Ask me.
That's, Antonella, very interesting because you lived in very big city, in Buenos Aires. Yeah, and right now you are in Košice, which is a lot of very smaller city, let's say. Yeah. And also for me, if I lived in big city, it was much more hectic life.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the time something is happening.
Yeah, exactly.
But here in Košice, in small city, we have more time for personal things, just to calm down and to live slower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, get you.
So,
actually, what is the difference, let's say, that I found? Actually, we all know that Buenos Aires, it has almost the same size that Slovakia, let's say, the Buenos Aires. So you have the Buenos Aires capital, which is the biggest metropolitan that you will find in Argentina, and I can say that in the whole Latin America after New York, let's say. But I've never lived in the capital of Buenos Aires. I lived 400 kilometers away in a town that is a town that works well with tourism in high season, and it is next to the sea. And a lot of trees, forests, etc. I actually work as a lifeguard there and blah, blah, blah. So actually the first challenge that I'm having living in a city is here. Slovakia is making me live things that I've never lived before. So I'm discovering a lot of sides of myself that are reflected by the contrast. But the contrast doesn't affect me anymore because thanks to that, I'm learning how to work with it. So yes, now I'm living in a city, but I can find the good side of that, And the good side is not just the people, the environment, the company, etc. Is discovering how I'm able to handle that. That is what actually makes me feel comfortable with this contrast. That I'm learning a lot about myself and how to deal with circumstances far away of home, in a culture that you don't know, with institutions, because I did my resident permit, so I needed to go to the foreign police, to the ministry, alone by myself, because I didn't want to bother anyone, blah, blah, blah. all those things help me a lot to break something inside me, but in a good way, let's say. It's like I'm discovering a new Antonela, mixing it with the old Antonela, and it's born in a new version. And I think it's a good version. Let's see. So far, it's going good.
Finger crossed.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we can jump to specific topic of Košice. So what do you think of the city of Košice?
Okay, it's not a big city, because I know the Argentinian capital. I also know Bratislava, other capitals here in Europe. So I can see that it's not a big city, but it's big enough. Big enough in which way? You can walk on the street and you will not cross the same people everywhere, every day. So that's good, because it says, it looks like it has variety, let's say. It's not a place that there's nothing to do 100%. You always have a bar or a concert to go, or an activity, or hiking, or going to Tatras, and etc. Okay, actually, a lot of one of the things that I see is that cultural activities, there are a lot. Even though maybe I do not understand all of them, or I don't belong to all of them, I can see that institutions, or the government, or the companies themselves are trying to stimulate continuously the movement of the people, outside of their houses. Because I understand the winter is rough in here, and it's not a party culture, let's say. I mean, yes, you are party because you like to drink a lot, I can say. I'm learning how to drink thanks of you guys. But I'm talking about that kind of energy of, I don't know, if you put a bunch of Latin American people all together, they will be dancing till 3, 4 a.m. Here is not that kind of energy, but you have places to go or activities to do that you can sit down with your friends, have a chat, see a concert, some local band. I don't know, the other day I went to the hockey match of the guys, so that was a nice activity to do, to go at home. Me, because I'm living this, I'm going to Cultural Park because I'm learning drums, for example, and every time that I go there, the environment is beautiful. Maybe the people who is local, they don't value it, but I can see the environment is, you have kids going around, you have yoga activities, you have concerts all the time, different cultural activities that you can do inside the institution. Spring and summer is beautiful. That place is beautiful. So to summarize what I think about Košice, I think is a good place to stay and do not get bored, let's say, or isolated, or I mean, if you say that you have anything to do, it's because you don't want to move. Because actually we have things to do in here. The thing is like, put your ass up, move and look for those things. And that's something that I learned because at the beginning here, I was kind of isolated, Other learning that
is what we said in the beginning, that it is hard to crack to the society.
Exactly. But it's other learning that I'm getting from the contrast. I realized that the one who was getting isolated was me. Nobody was pushing me. So I say, okay, I'm learning this about myself. So what I'm going to do is pushing myself to cut that pattern, let's say, that I was living. So, yeah, a lot of contrast, but that contrast is, as I said, helping me to recognize a lot of things about myself, my personality, and become a different version, let's say, a better one.
And can you say that you have already adjusted yourself to the local lifestyle and customs?
I can say that I adjust to it. I'm not saying that 100%. Now is something that I can enjoy the everyday without questioning inside. What do I do? Where should I stay? As it was before. Now it's like I'm feeling super comfortable right now. But I know that there's still a lot of path to walk. There is still a lot of things to live, a lot of things to experience. So I can say so far, yes, I feel more comfortable. I wake up every day like I want to go out and live, go to the gym, see the guys at the office, do some activities at the weekend, which before that I was getting used to was more difficult. But now, yes, I can say yes. There's still a lot of job to do and experiences to live, but yes, I adjust to it.
I know it. What are you doing in your free time? A little bit, but it will be very nice if you can share what is your favorite things to do in your free time.
Okay, I like reading. I'm not the kind of book reading girl because I'm continuously traveling, so I can't have too many things for my luggage, let's say. So I try to read digital books, and they are all oriented to this is gonna be funny. Science and unexplaining things. How science drums, yes, also. But these kind of books that speak about, from the science point of view, all those things that we cannot explain as a human being, let's say. So I like that mix of things because I'm kind of, let's say, a spiritual girl, but also mental. I never follow any rule if I cannot prove it, let's say. So I need the technique to follow some ideal, let's say. Of course that I like drums. Since last year I'm practicing drums, and I'm super thankful about the teacher that I found in Cultural Park. He's amazing. He actually teach me a lot about the culture also. And I don't know, it's every Friday I'm waiting, or the whole week I'm waiting to go to the classes. Also, that I bought the drums, they are here in the company, so every time that I have time I practice and etc. Other things that I like to do is playing guitar, but I do that most of all at home, in the flats, in my free times. I like to be in nature places, so even if it's alone or in company, I like to go to the forest. I don't need to go too far away, I can go close home, but still go to the forest, sit down a little bit, I don't know, see what is going on around, etc. I like to watch series, of course. Yes, I will say that. I like it. I like to sit down when I'm eating or preparing my food. And the kind of series that I like are kind of police and crime and detectives. I don't know why, but I like those kind of topics. And I like maybe go out just for a while at the weekends and have a beer, quiet beer, with somebody, talks a little bit and come back home. But I'm not a kind of party girl, let's say. Mm-hmm. So little activities that help me to go during the day with distractions, to don't be too much time on your mind, let's say. But I really enjoy also spending time with myself, doing nothing, maybe.
Just relaxing.
Yeah. Exactly.
We need to regenerate, you know. We are working the whole week, so exactly, that is what we love to do in Slovakia. Just to relax, to chill, to calm down. Sometimes outside the city.
Okay,
And you can feel that like you are recharging.
Yeah, exactly.
For the next weeks. And
Yeah.
Okay, we are slowly running out of time, so maybe we can jump back to the past. Yeah,
to my past.
Okay. When you live in Argentina.
Okay.
So for me, it will be very interesting to know something about social aspect. I mean, like economy stuff and so on.
Okay.
So if you came here to European Union, what do you think? How do you...
Get you. How is the country? This is the emotional part of the interview, no? When I speak about my country and I get emotional because I start realizing that I miss it. No.
It's a very interesting topic because, Latino America is developed in different way.
Yeah, totally.
Like here in European Union.
Exactly. And regarding the lifestyle that you can get in here and there, yes, there's a lot of difference, We all know that Latin America is a place that, from the social point of view and economic point of view, and politics point of view also, is not stable. It's continuously changing. But Latin American people, we are used to that. So we learn how to live with those changes. In Europe, the difference is that you can be 1 year with the same prices, let's say, without inflation. I know that is not the case in the last years. For all around the world, inflation has been rising and etc. But still, here it happens every 6 months, let's say. In Latin America, it might happen every day. Every day you have the prices. going down and going down. Here, you are sure that you will jump here. Everything can be a little bit more expensive. Expensive regarding that if I would be living in Argentina with foreign currency, I would be kind of queen, let's say. But anyway, the inflation will beat me. Here, you know that you can be at least 6 months, 1 year without having issues regarding that. So you can planify in a long period. Other thing that I see that is a big difference, and I think it is more related to the age that I have, the kind of period of my life that I'm living, is that I don't know the rest of the countries of Latin America, but I will speak about Argentina. In Argentina, it's impossible to be able to get my house. Mm-hmm. I won't be able, never, even if I'm working 12 hours per day during 30 years, I won't be able to get the money to buy my house. First of all, because the houses are being sold in dollars. Mm-hmm. Secondly, because the banks, they don't give you loans in foreign currency. They give you it in Argentinian pesos, let's say. And the quantity that they give you do not get to, you cannot even buy a car, And in third place, because, yes, if you came from a family that do not have a legacy, let's say, you need to start from zero. And that's why the younger people like my age and a little bit more younger, we are suffering from our country. We want to plan. We want to have our stuff. We want to have our house. We want to help our parents, etc. But it's a path that is difficult to get to the goal, So that's the other contrast that I see here in Europe. Yes, you are a foreigner. Yes, the path is going to be different and complicated in other things. But I know that sooner or later I can achieve those goals because I have, let's say, that the outside helps for the people to achieve that. Yes, you can be, I was talking, for example, with Peter today, like a 25 years paying a loan, let's say, but you already have your house, In 25 years in Argentina, if I save money per month, I will never get to that. Never. So regarding the goals that you can achieve, there is a totally difference. For that reason, young people from Latin America in general is like a kind of escaping because we cannot imagine the future, and it's kind of frustrated. Okay, the other thing is that that tomorrow you go to the supermarket and the same yogurt that you ate yesterday is going to be in the same price, Mm-hmm. So you can play and enjoy a little bit about your incomes, let's say. Mm-hmm. You can save money.
The stability
exactly,
is better.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, everything can be a little bit more expensive, let's say, mm-hmm. but it's more stable. So mm-hmm. that's what you need to be able to planify, So... yeah, that's the okay, the other difference, the culture, of course. Not just Slovakia. In Europe, you can, in 4 hours, you can get to another country that has a totally different culture, of course. But it's still Europe. And mm-hmm. Europe countries, yes, they are different, but they have something similar that is difficult for me to explain. Maybe it's the feeling of being a foreigner that makes me look at them in that way. And that feeling is not easy to explain if you are not a foreigner. But okay, I go to my country, I know that I don't need to. In my country, maybe the feeling that I have is that I can be this passionate person, and get out from the plane and say, hey, hi, how are you? And nobody's going to feel it like a weird, But it doesn't matter. All the things that I miss from my country, now I'm learning, after all the trips and this period of time that I've been living here, I'm realizing that it is possible to create your circle, to fill in your roots. And always somehow look for the way how to keep in touch with your country, even though you are not there, mm-hmm. Because that sooner or later you will come mm-hmm. back for visiting, or because the things didn't work here, or because you need to visit family and etc. So it's not impossible to create the environment, it doesn't matter the country you are, that will make you feel home. Home mm-hmm. is inside you. That's too poetic. I know, that's Argentinian. I'm sorry. But home is wherever you go. So the whole point of this is learning how to live with yourself, because mm-hmm. the rest is just movement. In your country, yes, I will go to my country, be happy. But how much can I spend with my family and friends? 1 week, 1 month. After that, everything starts being the same, So it's like I embrace those little moments and at the same time use all the other things that you are living out of your country to learn how to live with yourself without being home. let's say. Create your home wherever you go. That's the whole point, I think.
That's very nice ending, because we have many things in our own hands, and we need to be brave enough to realize what we have in our heads. So, thank you, Antonela.
Thank you, Vlado, for this opportunity. It was amazing. And accurate questions also.
You are also amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Antonela.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice day.
Dovi.